Welcome back to another video, everyone. Today we're going to be unboxing my 2021 MacBook Pro 16-inch. I'll go over all the specs later in the video. Let's continue. Now that the ASMR is over of the unboxing, we'll go over what's in the box. This looks like the USB-C to USB-C cord, main power cord, designed by Apple in California. See what's in it. Little instructions on what everything does. Apple stickers. Oh, they're silver too. I got the silver one. Put all that back in there. And it looks like there's something else. Let's see what it is. Maybe not. Nope, I guess that's just a thing so it doesn't bend. So there's that. And here is the charging block. So unwrap it. Very shiny. And I do have the extension cord that comes out of this from my old MacBook, which will also go on here, so I can have a longer cord. And that's what's inside the box. Just this information and the charger. And I've never smelled the new Mac smell, so let's see if it has it. Oh yeah, it smells really good. Well, now I know what a new Mac smell is. Let's open this up. Tab here. Tab there. Should slide out. Yep. Here's the cord. Pre-tangled. The box is really pretty. Very detailed. Shiny Apple logos. Inside has like a texture on it. Interesting. Put this back on here. Now let's continue with the actual Mac itself. Open it up. This is what the inside looks like. Got the touch bar. Very nice. Giant trackpad. Feels good. Now I'm going to try and go through the setup here without getting me in the reflection. That's why it's turned. So we're in English. United States. Log into my Wi-Fi real quick. Okay, now I'm gonna see if I can get this to work. I have an older Mac. This is my old Mac. It's a 2010 MacBook Pro, 13-inch. See the difference in the screen here. And I need to see how I'm gonna transfer everything over to this one. Okay, I found out how to do it. I got Migration Assistant going on this one, and I just guess I have to go through this and maybe it'll pop up on here. We'll find out. Okay, so here, you can pan in this. It says to another Mac. Continue. Oh, I have to connect it to the power. Power's connected. One thing I am gonna miss is the MagSafe. It's because it's so easy to plug in and unplug. Okay, so now I gotta click continue to another Mac. Okay, so now it's popped up on this one. So I gotta click that, continue. See what happens. And then I gotta type a code in. Continue. Connecting. Looking for documents to transfer. While we're waiting for that to load, here's the difference. I did get silver on this one because I wanted a classic color. I don't really like the space gray ones. There's that pretty similar, honestly. It's only a tiny bit thicker right there, probably like 2/4 thinner on this one. Keyboards are obviously different. Here it's asking me what I want to transfer, all of the above. Continue. I had to make a password on this one to enter on this one so that it knows we're trying to merge them and somebody random isn't doing it. Okay, it's transferring. It's cool looking. Zero transferred files. So I'll come back whenever it is done. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, so we'll come back. I don't know why it's transferring so slow, because our Wi-Fi tests out about 170 megabytes per second. So I don't know why it's doing that. I plugged in the Ethernet. I don't know if that'll make it faster, if it'll even switch over, but it's at 8 right now. I don't know. We'll see. Fingers crossed it doesn't actually take 8 hours and 30 minutes, because that would suck. The one thing I am really gonna miss is the light up Apple logo. I really like that. This one doesn't have it. It's so they could put a better screen in it, but still, I like the light up Apple logo. It's so cool. Here's the screens in the dark. See how it's all wigging out? Well, I guess it's doing the same thing. Keyboard. It actually feels similar, surprisingly. Way less travel on this one, but it's not that bad compared to that one. Volume. I do like the clicking noises though. Wonder if there's a way to turn them back on. Not sure. Okay, that was taking so long, so I canceled it and I figured I'd do it later. So now I'm setting it up. I like how it says that. Continue. And we'll do auto. That's what I have on my phone. Continue. I'll have to turn that off for photo editing though. And here's the inside. Very nice. Let's look at the specs. Okay, MacBook Pro, 2.4 gigahertz, 8-core Intel Core i9, 32 gigabytes of RAM, the Intel graphics 360, 1536 megabytes. It's the display. I got 1 terabyte. Yeah, there it is. Here is both of them. This one and this one. Wow, this has turned into a disassembly video as well. This is my 2010 MacBook Pro, and I'm going to take the hard drive out and connect it through USB to my new MacBook so that it transfers way faster, because I'm not going to let it sit there for 8 hours going over the Wi-Fi. Taking way too slow. Take out all these screws. And all of them are the same length except for these 3 are long ones. Now I can take this off. Oops, just kidding, I forgot 1 screw. Now I can take it off. There is the inside. Set this over here. Here's the inside of my old MacBook. I upgraded to 8 gigabytes of RAM and a 1 terabyte Samsung hard drive. The CD drive still works, DVD, whatever. And original battery, which needs replacing because it dies within like an hour and a half. But I can't find like a decent one. They're all either super expensive or fail after a year, or super expensive and fail after a year. So yeah, but now to take out the hard drive, there's 4 screws right there. These little clamps come out, and then you just pull it up and disconnect it from the cable. Here is the connector. You just unplug that, like so. You have to be really careful because it's a small ribbon cable. And the hard drive is out. There's also one thing I really love about these old ones is you can take them apart and pretty much replace anything you want. And so like if this had a different processor, like an Intel like Core i7 or i5, and I did what I've done to this one, it would be way faster. And yeah, sadly they're not like that anymore. I think it's really cool. Now I'm going to set this back on. What's in the way? Oh, oops. Put that back there. I'm gonna set this on, move it to the side. I'm going to use this magnet to keep all the screws together. Like that, and set that aside. And now we get the new MacBook. So from here, I'm going to use this USB plug that I'm going to unbox in a later video, and going to use this that plugs into the hard drive through a SATA cable. Plug it into the USB. And get that all hooked up. Alright, it's kind of a mess here, but this is how it's going. This is the SATA cable going into the USB, and I need power for the hard drive, so, well, SSD. So I have this plugged into that little block back there. We're going to plug it in, and when I plug it in, it should pop up on the desktop. Possibly. Or this could work different than my old Mac. I don't see anything. Let's try disk utility. It is not in there. Let me try something. There it is. It is right here as well. Okay, now that it is in here, I need to see if I can go to, what's it called? Not disk utility. Go to migration assistant. Continue. Put in my password. It's gonna log me out and go into the migration assistant app, and we're going to go from that one, 1 terabyte SSD. Continue. Set password. Okay, set the password. Continue. Okay, basically it's because I already started this process, so it's telling me there's already an account on there. So I'm going to do this again. Okay, it's authorized. Now it is going to, it's already processing the items way faster than before. Well, there's some sort of issue with this because right after 62,000, it stops and just sits there. So I don't know what's happening with this, why it's stopping, if it's like falling to sleep or something, but it just does that. And then when I click cancel and log back in, this isn't up on the desktop, and I have to unplug it and plug it back in, and then it pops back up. So it could be the cable or that, I don't even know. So what I did here is I got an old power supply from an old PC. I jumped it so that it would run, and I plugged in the hard drive power to the SSD, because I think my issue was the power supply that came with this adapter, which is really junky. So now I have it going into this MacBook through the USB, and I'm going to turn it on through USB and see if it's working just fine. If it is, then I'll plug it back into this and we'll go from there. It seems to be working just fine, besides it being really slow because it's running through USB. I think that's 2.0 because it's so old. But yeah, it's working. So now I'm going to shut this down, unplug it, and plug it back into the other Mac. All right, now we have it plugged in to the new MacBook. Right there. Let's try this again. Fingers crossed it'll work this time. Oops, I need to plug it in. What's funny, it makes the iPhone noise when you plug it in. Yep. And we're back to this. Now I'll let it sit for a little bit and see if it starts to actually go. Look at that. It started going, and it says it's 33 megabytes a second. Over the Wi-Fi it said, I think the top was like 12, which I don't understand because our Wi-Fi is so much faster than that. But it's working. It was definitely power supply. Much better. Making progress. 551. 1,035 files out of 60,000. 31,000 files. 634. Wow. I guess there were a lot more than I thought. Getting closer. It must be getting into some larger files because it's starting to slow down. And it's 8 o'clock. It says the exact same thing as it did at 7:30. The time, not the files. The files are moving up. So we'll see. Fingers crossed it's done by 9. It just jumped to 30 minutes. It is 8:19. So close. It says 3 minutes. It's 9:21. We'll see if it's actually 3 minutes. 9:24. Migration complete. Migration is complete. Any day now. Where was what? Oh, random. There it is. All signed in. Perfect.